Hey there, Stampers. Welcome to day 12 of our 12 Days of Holiday Tags, Bags, and Gift Packaging series. My name is Sherry Roth. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Alberta, Canada. And for the last 12 days, I've been sharing a video featuring a tag, bag, or gift packaging idea to help you prepare for the holidays. So hopefully you guys have caught them all. If you have not, if you head over to my Stamping Treasures YouTube channel, you will find a 12 Days of Holiday Tags, Bags, and Gift Packaging playlist. So you can catch them all there. I've had a lot of fun doing this, and it has really helped me prepare for the holidays. So I'm excited to be here today to share another project idea with you. Now this one is using the pretty Pillowbox dies. These can be found in the July to December mini catalog. On page 9, they are these dies right here. So they're part of the gingerbread and peppermint suite. And I think they're overlooked just because there isn't a stamp set that goes along with them. And I mean, when you look at the dies, they don't look like anything special there when you look at that picture. But wait until you see what you can create with these. So cute. Now, of course, you can use them as they are intended. So this is a little pillow box that I created just using the craft paper, and I added a little bit of the gingerbread and peppermint DSP around to use as a belly band. This was cut from the gingerbread and peppermint DSP. It's got this beautiful detail here, and then it holds a little fun size candy bar really nicely. Now, the first question I often get, excuse me, is if they will hold a gift card, and they are too small to hold a gift card. So a gift card will not fit in here. Now, I didn't want to show you how they were intended to be used today. I wanted to show you something different that you can do with them. And I am so excited to share with you this project. I love it. It's actually it's probably my top 3 projects that I've shared over the course of the last 12 days. I really, really love how it turned out. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to use some craft paper, and I've pre-done some of this. I've gone ahead and I've die cut. Oh my gosh, just a sec. I need to take a drink of water. I'm losing my voice here. Okay, sorry about that. I've just been on a Zoom call with my team. We were planning our next extravaganza event. So very excited. So watch for more details on that coming up. Okay, so I've gone ahead and I've taken some of the 6x6 craft paper, and I've cut 2 of the Pillowbox dies. So just 2 of these. I haven't altered them in any way yet. We are going to alter them slightly. And now I've got a 3rd piece of craft paper, and I'm going to cut this down to 4x6. Okay, so it's already 6x6, so I'm just going to cut a couple inches off of one side. Oh yeah, it does kind of look like the shape of an old-fashioned clock, doesn't it? Yeah, you're right, Lori. I know exactly what you're talking about. Okay, and then from this piece, I am going to, I just want to make sure I've got my measurements right. Okay, so I'm going to line it up at 1 1/4 inches, and I'm going to score on all 4 sides. So if you're using the Stampin' Up! Cutter, this lighter gray piece is the scoring tool. So I'm going to do 1 1/4 inches all the way around. Yeah, for Beauty and the Beast. That's right. It's funny what we see when we look at these kinds of things, hey? All right, so 1/4 inch all the way around. And then while I've got my paper trimmer here, I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to bring this piece back, and I am going to line up. Okay, there is a score line right here. So that's one of the great things about these dies is they cut and they score. So this score line, I'm going to line up with the 1 1/2 inch mark. And I'm going to bring it down so that I can see the line here, lining it up with my score line. and then also see it on this end so I can make sure it's straight. And I'm going to cut it at, so that this piece ends up being 1.5 inches. I'm just going to slice that off. I'm going to toss that. And then I'm going to snip this. So I'm lining up this little groove right here with where my track is on my paper cutter. And I'm just going to snip off this little piece that kind of bubbles out. And you'll feel it when it gets to that little groove. And then I'm going to flip it over and repeat that on this side. All right, and then I'm going to repeat that same process on this second one. So fold along the 1.5 inch score line, line it up, snip, and then cut this little bubble piece off. It seems like when I look back at some of the projects that I made over the course of the last few days, I'm really into like craft or kind of a neutral kind of Christmassy vibe this year. Okay, so now we're going to bring back this piece and we are going to snip up to the score line on all of these pieces. So from the long end in up to the score line, we're going to snip. And then the other thing we're going to do, just to reduce some of the bulk and make it fold a little bit better, is we're going to snip from corner to corner. And I prefer to use longer bladed scissors when I do this, so I can do it in one snip. Go all the way around to all 4 sides. Okay, now we can go ahead and we can fold along our score lines. Let's see here. Good morning, Gail. Good morning, Denise and Mary Liz, Lori, Elaine. Welcome. Okay, so we're just going to make all of these crisp. Makes our box a lot easier to assemble if you make these nice and crisp. Okay, and then on these pieces, I'm actually only going to fold this bottom bit that I kind of folded so that I could find that score line. So that's all we're going to fold here. There is a score line here so that you can fold this over, and there is a score line here so that you can easily pop those in to create the pillow box as it's intended to be used. But we're not going to fold along those score lines. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to bring back this base and we're going to bring in some tear and tape. And I do recommend that you use either tear and tape or Seal Plus when you do this. You can also use multi-purpose glue, but you have to be a little bit more patient when you use multi-purpose glue because you need time for it to set. So you either need some clips handy or you need to hold it for a bit. So I am going to, did you get your happy mail, Lori? That's good. All right, let's see here. It's probably a lot faster if I were to use seal, but we're going to use this. And I'm being quite generous with this because I really don't want my box to fall apart. Okay, so now I'm going to use my bone folder, just burnish this just to make sure that it adheres nicely. Now I'm going to peel off this one just because I'm overlapping just a little bit here. And don't worry if you overhang like I did here, because I can fold it back on itself Just fold it back over. A paper piercing tool makes it so much easier to pick off the backing rather than trying to use your fingernails. All right. So I mentioned at the beginning of this video, if you have missed any of the 12-day series, then you can visit my YouTube channel to catch any of the videos. I've got a playlist set up. It's called Bags, Tags, or Holiday Bags, Tags, and Gift Packaging. And you can catch any of the videos that I did over the course of the last few days. Okay. All right. So now I'm just folding this in. Just like this. Oh, I didn't fold along that score line. Tuck this one in. Okay, so what we've done is we've created a little box bottom. So now I'm going to adhere these two pieces together, just like this. Okay, so this is what we're going to end up doing, is just doing that. So again, you can use tear and tape for this, or you can use, I'm going to use multi-purpose glue if I can find my multi-purpose glue. Here it is. Just because it's a little faster. I'm going to be quite generous. And just pop that on there. So I'm lining the edge of this up with that score line. So this is going to create a nice base for our box. And now I'm going to add adhesive here along the bottom and up the other side. So I don't want to add adhesive on these two bits. And I'm going to position this right inside here. And by using multi-purpose glue, it allows you to kind of maneuver it or manipulate it just a little bit so you can put it in the position that you want it. And then I'm going to fold up these sides. I'm going to tip it over. And I'm just rubbing my bone folder in here just to apply some pressure to make sure that that adheres. And then I'm going to flip it over and do the other side. Okay, let's do a little bit more right here. And there is our box. Isn't that cute? So I love the decorative edge at the top. It's so pretty. What we're going to do now is we are going to take a 3/4 inch circle punch. Now, this is not a punch that we carry anymore. However, in the gingerbread dies, there is a die cut circle that is very similar. So if you don't have a punch that you want to use to punch this, and you don't have to punch this, you can leave it as it is, but I want to add just a little handle. So I'm going to use this circle punch. Now, if you were to use the dies, you would want to die cut this before you assemble your box, because obviously you can't run this through, now that it is assembled, through your die cutting machine. So I'm just going to pop this in here, and I'm centering these two scallops. I'm just kind of eyeballing it to try to make sure that it's centered. I'm going to pop that out, and then I'm going to go to this side and do the same thing. And if you were to do this before you assemble it, you could actually use one and trace it so that it's even. But I mean, you could get it pretty close without. All right, so that just allows you to hold it like a little, oh, it's almost like a little purse. Isn't that cute? All right, so now what we want to do is we want to decorate it. We need to make it pretty. So how are we going to do that? I decided to pull out my Poinsettia Dies. So these were something that were released last year, along with a stamp set that coordinates with it, the Poinsettia Petals stamp set. So you can find these products in the annual catalog. I believe page 92, I think, is where you can find them. But we're not going to use the stamp set today. We're just going to use the dies. And I thought they would combine beautifully with our red velvet. So we've got some red velvet sheets. They come 2 sheets of 12 by 12. They're in the July to December mini catalog. You can find them on page 41. And it's got this beautiful texture. And these dies here, these 3, well actually, and the leaves, they add texture when you die cut them. So it looks like this. So let me dump out my little pieces here. So I've gone ahead and I've pre-done this so that you guys can see. Look at the detail that's on that. So it gives you the shape, but then it also gives you that beautiful detail. So, and it makes it look so realistic. I just love how it looks. So I've gone ahead and I've done all 3 sizes of the poinsettia. And then I've used some of our gold and rose gold specialty paper. This comes 6 by 6. It's from the annual catalog. You can find it on page 135 of the annual catalog, and it's stunning and it's so smooth. I love it. So I've gone ahead and I've used the dies again, and I've cut out 2 things. So I used this little piece, which will cut out the center. Okay. And then I've also done this little sprig from the gold. The other thing that I pre-cut is I went to some old olive cardstock and I die cut 2 of the larger leaves and 1 of the smaller leaves. Okay, so now we've got all of our pieces. We're going to go ahead and assemble. So I'm going to take my bone folder and I'm just going to very gently, because I don't want to ruin any of that detail that we got when we ran it through, just curl up the petals just a little bit on all 3 sides or sizes. How are your guys' Christmas preparations coming along? Can you believe that tomorrow is December 1st? Where has the time gone? Okay, I'm going to take my leaves and curl them up a little bit. And then I've got a little piece in here. Let's poke this out. Now this paper, there's some sort of backing or something on it, and it does take a little bit more to die cut. I had to run this through a couple times to get it to come out, and even still it took a little bit of effort, but it does die cut beautifully. Okay, all right, so now we're going to assemble our poinsettia. So I'm going to use some dimensionals. I'm going to pop just 1 dimensional in the center of the big one, and then I'm going to offset my flower, and then I'm going to take a piece of a dimensional and pop it in the center here. We had to go buy a smaller Christmas tree. Many of you know that we downsized this year. We moved into a smaller house and we just don't have room for our big tree. We were humming and hawing. We could put it downstairs in the rec room here, which is also my craft room. But we hardly ever spend any time apart from when I'm working down here. So we really wanted it upstairs in our main living space. So we had to go buy one of those tall, thin pencil trees. And holy man, they were hard to find. We did eventually find one at Lowe's and have it set up. We haven't decorated it yet, but we put it up last night. So it looks so good. It's the perfect size for our little space. Okay, so now we've got our poinsettia done. Oh, we got to add our center. Let's do that. I'm just going to use a little bit of multi-purpose glue here. And we can leave that open because I'm going to need it again. Pop this in the center. And look at that poinsettia. Is that not the prettiest thing? It's so pretty. I love it. Okay, I'm going to flip it over, add a dimensional to the back. And this is going to go on here like this. But before I stick it on, I want to add my leaves. So I'm going to take, or at least a couple of the leaves. So I'm going to take one of the big ones, pop it on there. Just make sure I'm kind of in the right spot. We can pull it out just a little bit. Love that with this glue you can kind of manipulate it, move it around until it sets, but then it's really sticky. You don't have to worry about anything falling apart. So position that one on there. Okay, and then we're going to put this guy on the other side. Right about there. We can go ahead and assemble or attach this. Let's pull this back a little bit. It's going to go on here like this. Look how pretty that is. Love, love, love. And then this piece is going to get tucked under here, just like that. Okay, so all of that needs to set just a little bit, just because we used that liquid glue. But isn't that beautiful? So pretty. Now, what would you use this box for? Well, remember how I said that a gift card did not fit in the pillow boxes like this, but it does fit in here. So you can use this as a gift card holder. You can add some paper shred and a couple chocolates. This could be at your Christmas table as a place setting. You could add a little tag with a person's name on it. But you take out the chocolate. Well, you could leave the chocolate in here as well. You can also add your gift card in here. Have that sitting in here like that. Okay, you can even tuck in the chocolate along with it. So there's a little treat to enjoy with the gift card. And look how cute that is. Isn't it adorable? So fun. So this is one of my top 3 picks from my 12 days of holiday tags, bags, and gift packaging series. I just love how this looks. I also think that this little bit right here, this flower, would be really cute. Take a piece of your leftover piece of craft paper, wrap it around a napkin, and then put the poinsettia on there, and you've got some great napkin holders. And then you have your little table that coordinates. You could even do some of these die cut poinsettias and just have them assembled and kind of splattered throughout your table. Wouldn't it be pretty? So pretty. I can't wait to decorate for Christmas. I'm so excited. So that is the final project for our 12 days of holiday tags, bags, and gift packaging. I hope you guys enjoyed this series. Now, I wanted to remind you of one more thing before I go. Today, because it's November 30th, it's the last day of the Start with Savings promotion, which is where our starter kit is on sale. So based on the project that I put together today, so let's bring this back in so that you guys can see it. I put together a starter kit. So if you have many of these items on your wish list, this might be the way to go. So let me share how it would work. So as part of your starter kit, you could include the pretty Pillowbox dies. These are 46 bucks. These are all Canadian prices. A package of the craft paper, which is $8.25. A package of the red velvet paper, which is also $8.25. Or you could substitute. I think these poinsettias would be beautiful with the white velvet paper with a little bit of pink sponged around the edges. I think that would be stunning as well. Then we've got the Poinsettia dies. You could add those in, and the coordinating stamp set from the annual catalog. You could add in a package of the rose gold metallic paper and a spool of the tear and tape. This would give you everything that you need, apart from the die cutting machine, everything that you need to create today's project. If you were to order these items individually, you would pay here in Alberta $190.29. So that includes shipping and tax. But if you wanted to take advantage of the Start with Savings and purchase the starter kit, include these items in the starter kit, you can get all of these items
because they're less than $165. Remember, you can choose up to $165. All of these items come out to $164.75, so 25 cents short. And you would only pay $100, and there's no shipping and no GST on that. So it seriously is the best deal, but today is the last day to take advantage of it. So if you want to do that, I did post in the description a link to where you can join my Canadian team. We've got team members across Canada. We'd love to have you. We actually have our team meeting on Friday, and it's kind of a Christmas celebration. We've got some fun challenges. We're going to play some bingo. It's going to be lots of fun, and we'd love to have you join us. So if you have any questions about that, make sure that you reach out. I'd be happy to answer them. And yeah, I'll see you again on Friday for Friday Live. All right? Thanks. Take care, guys.